Our next speaker is Samson Korawali, a PNG-based serial tech entrepreneur who is here to tell you all about his vision to transform education in Papua New Guinea. Please make him welcome, Samson Korawali.
My name is Samson Korawali, currently serving as the founder and CEO at Relay, and also the CEO and CTO at SNS Tech, a local IT company. And Relay is a hybrid enterprise-level school and learning management system currently being rolled out in Papua New Guinea. I would also like to acknowledge our partners, SNS Tech, NICTA, FODE, DICT, and the Department of Education for their ongoing partnership. So just a quick introduction about what Relay is. It was founded in October 2016, and currently Relay was the first global school and learning management system in Papua New Guinea, and is currently used across 8 countries. It is also registered in PNG and Australia, and we're classed as a SaaS edutech company, so strictly software development, and it's a software as a service platform powered by the internet. And we do have 2 products right now in the market. So the first one is the enterprise level school and learning management system, and the second is the Relay Courses Marketplace, which is actually being used right now with instructors in Papua New Guinea, which is very exciting, and also in Australia. And the system is best used in schools, TVET, universities, professional and corporate training, as well as instructors. Now, a little bit about our project with FODE. As you all know, FODE is the Flexible Open Distance Education, and it is currently based across 22 provinces in Papua New Guinea, or 22 provincial centers, and it boasts about 80,000 students across the country, and that number is trending upwards very quickly from grades 7 to 12. And so students can go into the local provincial centers to do their schoolwork. So if they don't get into the schools in the public system, they can also do their schooling through FODE because of the limited spaces there is. And each grade has about 6 to 12 courses inside of them. So maths, English, science, what have you. It's quite a large amount of content there. And these units can be based on maybe about 200 to even 230 pages long. So there's quite a lot of content in there. And that ranges from exercises to exams per unit. So if you think about the print material that has to go out across the country, across every single grade, for every single student, from exercises to assignments, it's really tallying up with print material and even freighting across the country. So there's a lot of big costs there at the moment. So going back to our agreement with the Department of Education, last year there was an agreement signed with FODE, as well as the DICT and the Education Department to run the first pilot, which started about a year ago. And it was signed at the DICT office space there. And that was to digitize learning for a small sample size of 50 students in the Central and the POM provincial centers. And that started, the pilot started in March this year, after the digitization was done for just the science course. So we only did the science course digitization, just for the grade 10. And that also included 7 teachers who were administering the system of using the SLMS, which is the Relay School and Learning Management System. The pilot goals were to give access to the course to students across the provincial centers, giving them access via using smart tablets with online connectivity, using the Relay SLMS. And it was also encouraging students to use modern technology to further and develop their digital literacy skills. It also reduced the printing and freighting costs. And teachers also, when they were doing the manual marking, the system does all the marking automatically. So if you think about not just consuming the content, but you look at what students do with multiple choice questions. In the past, they were doing them with the paper and had to submit that to teachers, but now it's all done through the system automatically, and the system can enable the teacher to allow them to give the marks to the students at any given point in time or hold them back. The system is also such a large system that it stores all assessments and also student data. So you can also track students' progress as they're progressing through their assessments and even working through their content. The other thing that the pilot did very well was we had feature requests while working in the pilot, and we were able to build new features while the students were using the platform, which I thought was very good. So the process for this project includes Relay deploying the system onto dedicated cloud server technology, because it's an enterprise system, to a dedicated domain name. So we'll be working with the DICT team to do that in the next phase. And then we create student accounts, teacher accounts, even parent accounts. There's also the different roles that you can create in the system. And also, we digitized the grade 10 course, which was the science course. And we ran training sessions, and we provided the online and face-to-face technical support ongoing, not to just the teachers, but to the students as well. Some of the key findings we found was that streamline of administration. So in terms of how the teachers were using the system, they were able to look through the content, curate it, update it, and it was applied across the whole curriculum, as well as uploading the contents and turning analog paper content into the digitized form for students to actually consume. Oops, sorry about that. And also, we built in custom login pages dedicated to the FODE team and a FODE portal, as well as branding, and it was used on the smart tablets that were delivered by the Department of Education. And how the students were learning was also mimicked digitally as it was with printed material. So they would work linearly through the course, do all the content, consume all the content, and then do all the assessments, all in linear form. What the system can do also was allow and open up the channel for communication between the students and the teachers. So they were able to constantly keep in touch, because the students sometimes did come into the centers, but also were working remotely. So they were able to still keep a very close very close communication with their teachers. So with the SLMS, we noticed that students were also progressing through their learning at different paces. So some would go ahead and some would kind of go at their own pace, but because they had the technology in place, they were able to self-pace themselves and get through the content. And the technology also improved the accessibility. So some students were coming outside of POM, they were still able to use the system outside of POM and not necessarily come into the provincial center. And throughout the usage of the SLMS, it improved the digital literacy by allowing students to learn how to use different buttons or solve problems in terms of how they interacted with the platform. And so the pilot ended in April this year, April to May. And so now we're into the next steps. The next steps is to do the IT audit across 5 provincial centers. So that includes POM and Central, Mount Diamond, Ley, Daru, and Hela. We've already completed the one in Daru. That was successfully done. And now we're into completing the rest of the IT audits. The IT audits will end in November of this year, and that is to set us up for implementation next year, because Relay sits at the top of the digital transformation, but you need to put through all the IT audits through so that we can properly account for everything that needs to be done. So now we're into digitizing all the courses for grade 10. So I'm just going to go through some of the pilot picks just to end this presentation. So this was a signing last year with our DICT representative, representing from Department of Education, myself, and the principal of FODE, Mr. Anthony, and our representative from SNS Tech, Jeffrey. And this was the handing out of the tablets to the FODE students by Dr. Janet. And we ran training sessions here in FODE with using the system on those tablets. And this is an example, oops, sorry. Sorry, apologize for that. So this is Dr. Janet giving out the tablets, and that's the training. And this is an example of the, on your left, that's the example of the printed material in FODE. So you can imagine how much they're printing out and freighting across the country, which costs multiple millions of kina. And I mean, if that gets lost, then you lose all that paper, and there's no way to really archive it properly. You can see that there's the FODE portal where you can download all the curriculum from grade 10 or from grade 7 to 12, which is all now being digitized. And below that is our portal where all the courses are now getting digitized. And on the top right, you can see the login portal that is live right now after the pilot. And we are now going through the digitization of all the subjects in grade 10. These are some photos of the students actually using the system on the tablets. And we have found out that although the tablets are mobile and useful, we're going to be implementing a more robust solution from the ground up that will include computers and computer labs to run a system like Relay. So that's part of our digital transformation piece that's coming. And this was after the pilot, we did a certification ceremony where we were invited to be part of the ceremony to hand out certifications for the students who finished the pilot. And now on to the second phase, which has already started. This is a photo of the Department of Education signing an agreement with NICTA, who are our funding partner, as well as FODE. And we're now moving into the next phase, which is doing all the IT audits, preparing 5 PCs or provincial centers for the digital transformation to take place in the next 2 months. And at the top of that will sit the LMS that sits on top of all the infrastructure that is going to be put through across Daru, Daru, Hela, Ley, POM, and Mount Diamond. Our team was in Daru last week doing the IT audit, and this is a photo of the classroom currently. So we're going to transform this classroom into a lab and putting state-of-the-art equipment from internet to infrastructure, security, computers, as well as all the learning technologies needed. And this is also a photo of the Daru PC where you can see, obviously, there's a lot of paperwork there that's all going to be digitized and stored and archived on the system. Thank you very much.